Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, takes to his right, gets to the 20. He's at the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks a third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, swings down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in post, and it's good! Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
For the second down, Ryan takes the snap, throws the flag to the left side. There's Russell, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown! No greater redemption!
The San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom. What is going on, faithfuls? It's your boys, Mike and Tony from the Nothing But Niners crew. And guys, we are here. Let's go with my round of applause. There it is. I don't know why. It was super low in my ears. Could you hear it during the intro? Like, could you hear the horns and all that stuff during the intro? Yeah? Okay. All right, cool. Guys, we are here to have another fun-filled episode, man. We have a couple of topics to talk about, but I think we're going to be a little bit long-winded, and hope you guys are here for it, man. It is it's the last Monday night of the football season, if we're being honest, right? Because this time next week, football will be done as far as games to be coming and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into this thing here. Let me go through these formalities, and then we'll get down with the get down, okay? If it's your first time here on the YouTube page, hopefully you guys enjoy the show. You see the instructions at the bottom there. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know exactly when you're going live. Give us a follow on Snapchat and X. Those handles are Nothing But 9, the number 9, ERS. Then we also have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Those handles are Nothing But Niners. My name on X is right there, Mike Andrews 83. To my right is my guy, Tony. He is NJ Niner Fan 499. Don't let him hide from you guys. Go out there and get him. Tony, what's going on with you, big dog? How you doing, man?
No, I'm off tonight. Got some rumblings going on in the off-season time of the year, and we're here to talk about it. There's a lot of things to talk about. This could be interesting. It could be interesting, but I'm here for it. So whenever you're ready.
Yeah, man. I mean, we might as well go ahead and jump right on into it. I know everyone can't wait to get our opinions on this, so let's just jump into it, man. Tony, Pro Bowl weekend is over. What were your thoughts? How much of the Pro Bowl games of any kind did you watch? And I want you to be 100% honest with me.
Honestly, I turned it on. I was just scrolling through the TV and I saw a Pro Bowl. So I clicked on it, and it was actually, I thought it was pretty cool. Where it was Juice and I think Humphrey for the AFC, and then the two punters trying to kick the punts inside the big barrels. I thought that was actually pretty cool. But then they went to like that flag football thing. I was like, yep, click off. Player safety, rest in peace to Sean Taylor, but everyone remembers what Sean Taylor did in that 1 year in that Pro Bowl where he just absolutely laid out Brandon Mormon. I think it was Mormon, the punter. So they went away from that. So because of that. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of it. So I kind of just watched a little bit, and that was
Tony, man, I kind of feel like my oh, you know what, Dan, you were absolutely right. Dan, you know what? Let me give Dan a round of applause too. Mike, how could you forget your own stuff, man? Mike, Patreon, guys. I can't believe I forgot to tell you guys about the Patreon page, patreon.com/NB9ERS. You guys will get an exclusive show actually tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys are there. We're going to have a good time. Tomorrow morning is going to be the spot to be, patreon.com/NB9ERS. any and all paid tiers will be getting a special show tomorrow morning, all right? And if you missed it live, don't worry. You guys can watch it again later on. All right, so thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate you, man, for keeping me on my toes. All right. No, Tony, man, like I don't know that I watched the dodgeball. I don't think I don't think I watched any of it of the Pro Bowl this weekend. And I kind of felt bad. Like, am I becoming less of a football fan, or am I so much of a real football fan that stuff doesn't entertain me? Like, what is happening to me? Why am I changing this way?
I don't know. I can't answer for you, but for me, I don't know. Some of the things that when they decided to turn to, and some of the activities they went to, I don't. It doesn't do it for me. Like, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
I remember back when they used to the quarterbacks would try to hit the moving golf carts driving across the field. Mm-hmm. I like that for accuracy. I like the bench press. There were some things.
So they had the targets, like the 1 for 1 point is rotating around, and the 5 points and all that. But then it wasn't even like quarterbacks doing it anymore. It was like just anybody could go in there and compete, right? And it's like, what are we doing?
Well, there's like no like, why is Juszczyk doing punts? Like, what are we?
Right. And so it was just weird to me. Oh, sorry. Am I getting feedback?
No.
Mic check. All right, never mind. We're good. Okay, but yeah, man, it was just weird, man. I don't know, man. It seems like every single year I just become a little less and less interested in it. And now this weekend, I'll be honest, I was busy. I was very, very, very busy. So that's a part of the reason I didn't get to see any of it. I was very focused on boxing. This was a big weekend for boxing. They basically got to kick off the 2025 boxing season. There was some boxing on last weekend, but this weekend was the one. So I was more into that. Dan said, did you guys get to watch the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, I watched some of it. I watched some of the East-West Shrine game, the Senior Bowl. I watched the first half, had to step away, and then came back and finished the rest of it in bits and pieces the following day. And I didn't finish the full Shrine game yet, but it wasn't.
When you see a game that's 25-0, do you feel like there was anything like it's tough, right? Like, because the offense is like not really doing anything, and you can't really take away a lot of the scheming stuff, right? So what do you watch these Shrine games for? Like, what do you watch these things for, and what are you trying to evaluate?
You're looking for individual players that caught your eye in the week leading up to the game. That's me personally. I'll watch it. I'll watch it once. I'll watch it once live, but then I'll go back and then I'll go through, okay, I'm going to watch the first defensive series and I'm going to watch this guy and this guy only. And
then run that same series back and watch a different guy.
Yeah. And then I'll go back and I'll watch this guy and then I'll go out and watch that guy. And, you can't do it to every player, but it's just people that catch your eye, or the people that interest you. Granted, in the Senior Bowl, particularly, some of these guys didn't play. The Nolan kid from Ole Miss didn't play. The other kid, Stewart from Texas A&M, didn't play. So there was really no evaluation for them in the live game action. It was more of just a week one-on-ones and stuff like that. But you just try your best with the time you have. I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
So
I got you. I understand. Okay. All right. I mean, look, I won't beat around the bush. We are past the 8-minute mark. You guys know that we tend to turn up a little bit after that. We can start to speak a little more freely here. NY to the Bay was happy about Jackson Dart. I see what you did there, Mike. All right. So shout out to everybody out there who is all the people in the chat right now. You guys are fantastic. I forgot to give you guys shout outs. The show we definitely need you guys out there to keep us on our toes again. So, all right. Senior Bowl, East-West Shrine game, but let's be honest, man. Let's just be completely honest, Tony. All that stuff that we have, our opinions and all, they're going to be strengthened or weakened when the combine comes. How much So let's say you have a guy that you like going into these, let's call them college Pro Bowl games, right? Let's call it that.
Yeah.
And then he goes out there and he doesn't do as good as you wanted to see him, even though you've seen him in college for 3-4 seasons already, right? Like, if they go out there and they don't do well, and they don't do well in the combine, does it make you change your mind on some of this stuff? Like, do you ignore all the film that you've seen on them?
I mean, you got to look at it in like a broad spectrum. Like, you got to say, okay, this is what I saw in meaningful games. This is what I saw in one-on-ones, and this is what I saw in the All-Star game. For example, I'll give you the one guy that everybody was absolutely flipping out about.
My tight end.
No. The offensive lineman from Zabel from North Dakota State, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you watched his one-on-ones, dominated
Right.
one-on-ones. You watch his game film in North Dakota State, very solid tackle, showing the tendency to move inside either center guard or even stay at tackle. But then you watch the first series in the game, you got dominated. Because he didn't know what was coming. It wasn't like, okay, one-on-one, I know he's coming at me, and I know he's going to try to beat me, and I know that he has no other responsibility but to get to the guy behind me. So you have that different mindset where it's like, okay, me versus you one-on-one, I'm going to, anchor up, get into you, punch you, try to control you, and that's it. May the strongest man win or the lowest man win. Mm-hmm. Game where there's a stunt where you got to watch, like if this guy's doing a hard A-gap hit and the other guy could be stunting off him, you saw it on the first play. They did a hard inside rush on him. He got beat.
Right.
So you look at that. You look at the one-on-ones. You look at the game film from the regular season, and then you got to look at it and say, okay, was it because of this on that? And did he just dominate on this because he knew that's all he had to worry about? So that it's tough to like come up with the answer, but that's what you're going to see, and that's what you got to like make your decision off of.
Right. Okay.
Makes
I mean,
sense.
and like I said, some of the stuff can be strengthened during the combine, but I also will say that I do believe people can have, bad combines and all that stuff. And there's a big part of me that I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of don't mind when guys have bad combines, when it comes to speed in particular, because that means they didn't shed a lot of weight to come out fast. We see people who work on that so much, and then it ends up hurting them in the end. You know what I mean? So I'm not always opposed to people having a bad combine when it comes to speed. If you're looking for someone who's strong, a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman, I don't really care how fast you are. Now, the 3-cone and all that stuff might be a little bit different, but I'm not really looking for those guys to go out there and run these blazing, 40s. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because how many times have you seen people?
The combine's totally different. Like, I think the combine is somewhat, how do I say this without getting the wrong
you can shit on it.
No, I'm trying to figure out how to say it without getting the wrong point across. The combine, in my opinion, I think is slightly overrated, right? Because if you got to look at the structure, the number one thing everyone loves is the 40-yard sprint. You show me one play where one player is running 40 yards straight in a straight line. You don't, because it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So what you look for off of that, you look at the 10-yard splits, the 20-yard splits. You look at the 3-coners and his footwork and his athleticism. For pass rushers, you want to see if they have bend or not and flexibility in their lower half. You look at the one they do the ring drill when they're trying to pick up the tennis balls or the towels off the floor. The bag drill for the linebackers, for the offensive linemen, for the defensive linemen. That shows you how fluid they are, how flexible they are, and how good their feet are, and how they can move. And the wave drill and all that shit, the old school stuff. And then the bench press is the bench press. Mm-hmm. That's just upper body strength. But that's why it's like the combine, great, it's exciting. You're looking forward to it because it's so much more closer. But you just got to be careful in how you say, "Wow, did you see him run that 4.29?" Bro, these guys don't run 40 yards in a straight line, so you're never going to get the 4.29. You'll get the 4.29 in the first 10 yards in the explosion. That's why that 10-yard split is crucial, because you'll see if he has explosion, right? Everyone says, oh, look at Brock Purdy. Look at Brock Purdy. His first several steps is explosive. Yeah, because when you look at his 10 cone, there's a one at his 10-yard split, I think it was a 1.5. That's pretty freaking good.
Right.
So that's what gives him the ability to create that separation quicker when he's going to try to make a play with his legs, and then he slows down eventually because he doesn't keep up that speed. But it creates that little, and that's all you need.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, that's all we got for you guys tonight, man. There was nothing else really worth discussing today. So let's go ahead and get to some of the newest news going on. This is something that came out more recently. The Los Angeles Rams. What do they call him? What was that horse? The thing, the triple crown guy. Most receptions, yards, and touchdowns in the season, and now he's being traded. What is that? Wasn't that just like 2 or 3 seasons ago that he won all that? Yeah. Cooper Kupp is being traded, and apparently this catches him completely off guard. He had no idea that this was coming his way. So let me share his message here with you guys, and I kind of almost feel bad for the guy. I mean, this doesn't seem like something that he wants or even expected. All right, so I have a comment here. Here's his tweet. We see it from the guy's mouth himself. This isn't words from someone else or anything like that. It wasn't released. Maybe it was typed up by an agent or something, but hopefully you guys can read that. And it says here, and I quote, it says, I was informed that the team will be seeking a trade immediately and will be working with me and my family to find the right place to continue competing for championships. I don't agree with the decision and always believed it was going to begin and end in LA. Still, if there's one thing that I have learned over the years, there are so many things that are out of your control, but it is how – wait, what? There are so many things that are out of your control, but it is how you respond to these things that you will look back on and remember. I have taken so much pride in playing alongside my teammates for the LA community. So thankful. So thank you for embracing my family and making this such a special place for us. 2024 began with one of the best training camps of my career. Preparations start now for 2025. Highly motivated, as healthy as ever, and looking forward to playing elite football for years to come. Love you guys, but coming for it all. And he has this wonderful picture here. Oh, I hear my man Ant. What's going on, baby?
Say what's going on.
What's going on?
Dude, man, hey, listen, man, they got laws against this stuff. Don't stand up, okay? I don't want to get you exposed or anything. No, I said don't stand up, dude. What's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
Say I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, if I can guess what you had for dinner tonight, you got to give your dad $1.
Okay.
Did you have pizza?
No, I didn't tell him because you got it all over your face.
Let me see.
No.
He said, let me see. I'm just messing with you, buddy, man. You don't got to give your dad $1. I'll give him one for you, okay? I should probably get this woman's butt off the screen with Ant sitting there. But yeah, so let me get a Go Niners, buddy, before you leave.
Say Go Niners.
I'm not leaving yet.
Say Go Niners.
Oh.
Say Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Scream it, dude. Right, calm down.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Sit there.
All right. So, Tone, man, what do you think about this, man? Cooper Kupp is saying that he's on his way out. And again, this is not his doing. This is the team doing it. And his numbers this year weren't anything that we normally would expect from him, right? What did you think of him?
What did I think of that? I thought it was very weird. I honestly think this is what Snead does very well. He knows when the value is up, and he knows when he can get something in return. And you got to give him credit because he did the same thing with Jalen Ramsey. He did the same thing with, I think, another player. I forgot who it was.
I'm glad you started with Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey has still been a top corner in the NFL for a while. Like, it's not like he fell off at all. But Cooper Kupp only had 67 receptions, 6 touchdowns, and 710 yards. But he only played in 12 games. He didn't play in all 17 games.
He came off of an injury. He didn't play all the games. His production isn't what it was pre-injury. And money, we're probably talking about money. There could be money that's about to start hitting soon that's a little bit more than what they feel his value is to them. Puka, that's dirt cheap. They could be in the market for another wide receiver that we don't know about. But this is the NFL's – this is the brutal side of the business. The not for long side of the business. So,
yeah,
it's what have you done for me lately or today?
Do you think he has anything left in the tank, Tony?
I think he does, but I think he's down to a style of Kendrick Bourne, his former teammate at where'd they go? Western Kentucky State or something. He was faster than Bourne coming out, but the injury could have set him back. So maybe the separation isn't there if he isn't on the move. If he's got to line up and go one-on-one with a defender, he might not have the ability to get open and create that space. But I mean, listen, I don't watch the Rams on a consistent basis, so I don't know. But just off the top of my head, you do see him in motion a lot. So that tells you something.
Would this be someone you are interested in the Niners acquiring?
No. I think the Niners have an issue on their hands right now at the wide receiver spot, and I don't think they can afford to bring somebody in when they already have somebody with big money coming off of a massive injury. And when I say massive, I'm saying massive. Because I have a funny feeling you're not going to see the same Brandon Ayuk when he comes back. Wow. I think he shredded his whole knee. You're talking
I know.
ACL, MCL, PCL. That's you're talking.
That's a triple crown.
You're talking like Marcus Lattimore type knee shred minus the dislocation. Because he had the grand slam. He had the dislocation, the complete tears, everything. So that is very scary. And they just gave him an abundance amount of money in that contract. And I know his cap number isn't that big this year. But I just don't know. I don't know.
Well, if you are concerned about about Brandon Ayuk, right? Like if that is a concern, wouldn't you want to replace him with a guy that's 31 years old and 6'2"?
I mean, but again, what is this?
He's not gonna cost a lot. Never mind. His cap hit is $30 million.
So what are we doing?
Whoops.
Right?
It's 29.7, and then the year after that is 27.3.
So there you go. Now, what are we doing? You're adding, and now you do a move like this. Guess what? And how old is Cooper Kupp?
He's 31 now. He'll be 32 when the season starts.
I'd rather pay T. Higgins money at 26 and go long term with him.
Now, but you were worried about injuries, though. Higgins is banged up often.
But he's not coming off of a serious injury. He's not. So my issue is this. If you look at the wide receiver class coming out this year, it's not good. And I think the 49ers took Pearsall last year purposely because they knew in 2025 there's a significant drop-off to the class in
the wide receivers
from 2024. Okay. So like you got to look at that part of it. Like these guys know what they're doing as far as like prepping themselves and aligning themselves for what's going to be available in the future years and money and all that shit. So I just feel that I think this team's really, really, really concerned about Brandon Ayuk's situation. I really do. They'll never say it, but I think they're nervous.
All right. So with that means that you think Debo's coming back then, right?
I don't know, Mike. I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Okay. You can't tell me that you don't know, you don't think Debo's coming back, and you're worried about Brandon Ayuk, and you don't think the Niners should be trading for, or at least trying to sign a good wide receiver.
Well, here's where I'm at right now. Right, here's where I'm at. Clearly, Debo is not the player that he was past years. I think we can agree on that. Clearly, Debo is not a true separating one-on-one winning wide receiver. We could agree on that. So Debo's relegated to a Cordell Patterson type situation where he could run it from the backfield. He could do returns. He could line up in a slot. He could line up as a wide receiver and run a jet sweep. He could run a shallow cross, intermediate cross, a deep cross. He could run those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is this. If there is a market, do they consider it? I'm just saying hypothetically, if. Because if they do want to move on from him, it's got to be trade. It can't be cut. Because cut ramifications, they will save nothing. Trade end of it, they could save money. So this is what they need to, and I just think it's odd how all of a sudden, and I know there's rumors every year, but why is it being reported? And I'm talking like all over the Senior Bowl, all over, like, because there's agents there, there's freaking GMs there. Where did T. Higgins' interest come from? Again, I'm not saying I'm for that move, but where did this come from? How do you say the Niners are interested in a receiver when you have one banged up, you drafted one, you drafted two, and you have Deebo Samuel currently under contract coming back? So something isn't right. Something isn't like aligning for me right now, because that could tell me one of two things. They're truly scared of the situation with Brandon Ayuk, or
I think that's it. Yeah.
Or there could be interest on Deebo. Now, I'm not saying first round pick, but there could be teams that are willing to offer a day 2 pick for Deebo. That could,
yeah.
That could make the Niners say, well, you know what? If we do this, we can open up the door and do this, because we can't touch that $28 million cap hit, whatever Deebo Samuel's cap hit is right now, because we don't want to push money down. So if we do this, we get this back. We add that, we could keep his first couple years cheap and then backload it. Like, I honestly think that this could be an off season, and I said this probably a couple times, but the meat and potatoes of the show is about Myles Garrett. So
who?
Myles Garrett.
Something happened with Myles Garrett?
We're going to discuss about the rumors with Myles Garrett, but I'm starting to get the sense that the 49ers are potentially could be looking at the 94 offseason going into the Super Bowl year, where they're going to put their backs against the wall and just go all out. And I think they might be able to get away with it, even though they will extend Purdy, because I think there's going to be flexibility with Purdy. Because I think they can potentially keep that first year or two low. Now, if you keep your first 2 years low on Purdy, or like not low, but fair,
manageable.
After those 2 years, they're going to be dropping weight. And that's when Purdy's money will really hit. So my thing is this, and we have to look at the total, like, we need to like go back from day one to this offseason for the 49ers, even though we're not even out of this season yet officially, but the offseason started for the 49ers. So they put all their eggs and bring it in Salah. That tells me one thing. I think Salah's got carte blanche on his defense. If he wants to say, I want Myles Garrett, they're going to go after Myles Garrett. So,
all right, well,
there's a lot to talk about. So I'm kind of like bouncing around, but
let's just go ahead and get to it then, man. Let's go ahead and get to it. Myles Garrett came out today and officially requested a trade. Now, this is the defensive player of the year. I mean, this isn't just some guy, right? Like, this is like the guy. All right. So let me just put this out here really quick. And this is this is no joke. the defensive player of the year. All right. And he comes out and says, you know what? Trade me, man. Trade me. So here is his statement here from Myles Garrett. It says, as a kid, dreaming of the NFL, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl. And that goal fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio and the incredible fan base of the Cleveland Browns has made this one of the toughest decisions of my life. These past 8 years have shaped me into the man I am today. While I loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It has always been to compete for and win a Super Bowl. With that in mind, and they put this in bold, which I thought was incredible. Like, I've never seen a statement come out with something in bold before, but we'll get to that. With that in mind, I have requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett. Tony. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, he put that shit in bold, bro. Like he means it with every fiber of his being. Now, I mean, it takes two to tango.
Can you be mad at him?
I mean, no. So that's why I want to talk about the bold thing. Like, I am requesting to be traded, and this team is not going to help compete for a Super Bowl anytime soon. Who's their quarterback?
There is none because he blew his same Achilles out again.
Right.
But he's making $240 million fully guaranteed. So I don't know.
So he wants to get out of there because they don't have the most important position out there for him. And the team is just doing Cleveland Brown type things, right? So he wants to clearly be traded to not just any team, but a contender, which knocks out about half of the NFL, right? That takes away half of the NFL right away. Then it comes down to dollars and cents. Now, there's so many different ways we can go here. I know people say, oh, the Niners can't afford Myles Garrett. And I understand why they say that.
That's not true.
Well, hold on now, because here are the numbers, and the cap hit is the cap hit. We just did it for Cooper Kupp, right? Like, his was, almost $30 million. So here are his cap hits, 19 and 20 million. You're telling me that these cap hits aren't the same as what Cooper Kupp's were? I've seen you can get them for about 6.3 million, 6.5 million. I don't know about that. The cap hit is the cap hit. Now, cash costs are different, but the cap hit is the cap hit.
All right, so I'm looking at David Lombardi's right now, and he makes a very valid point. All right, for 2025.
Is this a tweet?
Yes.
All right, I'll look for it. Go ahead.
For 2025, it's 1.3 million base plus $5 million roster bonus. 2026 is $1.3 million base plus $5 million roster bonus. Salary cap hits of $6.3 million for an acquiring team. Okay, so this is what transpires. The trading team. That's it. The trading team, from my reading in between the lines with this, is responsible for the guarantees. Once the guarantees are done, the team that acquires him picks up. Hold on. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Let me think about this.
Well, that's why I'm saying this is a very misleading. It's a very misleading tweet, I think, by Lombardi here.
Look at the spot rack again, because that's how I figure it out.
All right. So you can see here. All right. So this first column is the base right here, and you see it says 1.25. All right. And his prorated signing bonus is gone. There isn't one for next year. And that's why I don't understand what Lombardi was talking about. There is no more. The proration is done already. His signing bonus has been paid.
Could you slide that over to the right anymore or no?
Now, with these, this is the dead cap number over here. These are the dead cap numbers all the way at the end.
Oh, there you go, right? So if you add the 18 and the 19, and then subtract the 125, that equals the 36.2.
The 18 and the 19 minus the 1.2 equals 36.2, roughly. Yeah, I see where you're going. So that's 37, 38 minus the one. Yeah, so that's 36.
So where does he get the $5 million from?
I think he thought that there was more of the signing proration. That's gone, and that's why I don't. Now, I thought maybe I was reading this wrong, so I also have it pulled up on Over the Cap. I'll share that one with you guys. And here's the over the cap here. Now, again, other bonus money. So the prorated is here. And on this site, they have the prorated signing bonus listed as 14, almost 15, and 10. So the numbers are all over the place. And I just still don't get how. And then there's other bonus money. What that other bonus money is, I don't even know. But this makes it look like it's going to cost more in cash than what Spockrat had listed. Now, the only thing that is the same is the base salary numbers here.
Yeah, but then look at his guaranteed.
What do you mean?
His guaranteed salary is zeros.
Uh-huh.
So I guess if they cut him.
Now, yeah, because they don't have guarantees on Spock.
So how it works is if they were to trade him or cut him, the dead cap hit automatically goes to the team. Unless it's restructured. Remember what they did with D Ford, how they added void years and they stretched out that prolong?
Oh, yeah.
They prolonged it out over, I think, 3 years. They just prorated
Which
it
is
out.
what this team did with Myles Garrett's contract. You can see that here. Even though it says void, there's 3 years with void next to it with the prorated number there.
Yeah, so that's all going to Cleveland. I guess we would get his base salary plus the third column, whatever that third column is. With the 3.7, what column is that? No, to your right.
The prorated. This is the 3.7 right here.
The base salary is 1.25. So for 2025, it would be 1.25.
Oh, up here.
Plus the 3.7. So that's right. It's just he's off in 2026 where it's a little bit more money than what he put in the text. So these are, I guess, roster bonuses because it says other bonus. So base salary is 125 plus the roster bonus. The prorating signing bonus goes to the team, and then the dead cap goes to the team. So whatever is currently available for whatever is currently responsible for 2025 and 2026 would go to the 49ers, meaning a roster bonus and a base or guaranteed salary. That would go to the 49ers. Because don't forget, there was signing bonuses that were put into this. You know, like there's $20 million due at signing. That could be all paid for already by the
yeah.
So we're not responsible for that. So with that being said, even if he's off by a couple million, it's a very feasible deal to pull off. Now the question is this. This is very similar to the Christian McCaffrey trade, right? No guarantees, because I remember when they traded him, we were live, and we were like, nah, that ain't true. I remember because people called me out on it saying that I wasn't for it because I remember that Christian McCaffrey signed a massive extension. And I was like, wait a second. What is left on this guy's deal? If this guy's got a lot of money left on his deal, you know, where does that put the 49ers into the future? But then we found out that there was no guarantees left on his deal. So whatever he played, he made, and whatever he did, he earned. So if he didn't play, he wasn't getting paid. There was no guarantees. He played, he got paid. So then that made a good deal. So this is a similar situation to the Christian McCaffrey deal. Obviously, Myles Garrett would probably want a new contract extension. We're talking about a guy that's about to be 30 soon. And I'm sure he's going to want to be paid very nice, right? These are the negatives of this deal. There could be the negative side of this. So what does that do to your cap for the future and trying to retain the nucleus in San Francisco? It puts a little bit of question to it. But let's flip to the other side of it where the positives are. Clearly, this guy is the top pass rusher in the league. Without a doubt.
He's coming off a defensive player of the year. I mean, so
he is the
come on
top
now.
pass rusher in the league. It is not negotiable. It is not arguable. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He is the best pass rusher in the league right now, going into 2025. He's in phenomenal shape.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about that. He does have the work ethic.
Right.
Now, what does this team take pride in? What does this team love to invest in?
Defensive lineman. Come on now.
Okay. So I'm going to take it back to when Khalil Mack was with the Oakland Raiders and the Niners tried to go hard after him. And the Niners actually gave the best offer in return to acquire Khalil Mack, but the Raiders just refused to do business with the 49ers and sent them to the Chicago Bears for less.
I actually have that trade information here, so let's share that as well. So I don't know if you guys can read that. I'll try to blow it up as much as possible, but fit it all in the screen here. So Khalil Mack to the Oakland Raiders. This was 2018. Now, keep in mind, he was only 27 at the time. We are talking about a 30-year-old Myles Garrett, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Well, he's 29 right now.
Okay. 29, 1 month, 5 days. So his birthday's in December. He will be turning 30 in the middle of the season. But here's the trade, and we do know, even John Lynch came out of his own mouth and said that we offered better compensation than what the Cleveland – wait, what?
Chicago.
Cleveland Browns. What? Wait. Why? Oh, Chicago. I'm like, what? Why does it say Cleveland? Okay. It says the 27 years old Mack was traded by the Raiders to the Bears prior to the 2018 season. The Raiders received a first and a sixth in 2019, a first and a third in 2020, while the Bears received Mack a second-round pick in 2020 and a conditional fifth-round pick in 2020. And then the Bears signed Mack to a 6-year, $141 million contract extension, which made him the highest-paid defensive player in the NFL at that time. So not only was there a lot of compensation, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 picks, and a really big deal. 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, a sixth-round pick. But they also gave something back. They also gave back a second-round pick and a conditional fifth-round pick, which I believe he did end up making it for that fifth-round pick, plus a 6-year deal. So if the Niners were to try to pull the trigger on something like this, I would have to imagine it is going to be similar. I'm not willing to say it's going to cost much more than what we're looking at. Forget the money for a second. Forget the contract extension for just a second. I'm talking about the compensation. Would you give up 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett? I'm not worried about the thirds, the fifths, the conditionals, and all that stuff. Just straight up right now, the Niners have been without first-round picks for so long, and everyone's all excited we got them. This is the question that everyone should be trying to answer. Are you willing to give up multiple first-round picks to get Myles Garrett? Why or why not, Tony?
Oh, this is tough. This team loves defensive linemen, and they've been looking for that opposite bookend of Nick Bosa for years. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because this team, they just went through a rut without having first picks for 2 years, consecutive years. 3 years, actually. Count the year they took Trey Lance and the 2 years after it, right? So I just feel, the Rams went in with that mentality of F the picks. It worked for them, but then on the other side, the Niners have a lot of holes right now.
I want to know if you're giving up 2. Now, while you're thinking about it, we know that the Niners will pull these kind of triggers for guys that they think can do it. I think we gave up some 100%. Decent compensation for D Ford. So Myles Garrett, who is healthier than D Ford has ever been, I don't think they would be hesitant to give up that kind of compensation.
Well, the problem is this, though, Mike. How do they fill their other needs?
With the second rounds, third rounds, fourth rounds. I mean, let's be honest now. If there's one thing this team can do, they can get some later quality players, man. I mean, look, if we're picking it in the first round, we're probably looking at an edge guy or at least a defensive tackle anyway, right?
I'll tell you this. Right now, I'm willing to give up the 11. Because there's nobody in this draft class that even comes near this kid. In talent or
hold on now. Let's go.
That's my opinion. I mean, how do you feel? Is there anybody in this draft class that you say?
Listen, you're never going to hear me say. I know where you're going with it.
Right? How do you feel about that?
Because I'm always going to take the proven NFL commodity over a potential guy coming from college.
Correct. So my thing is this, right? If you send a package of, let's just say hypothetically, you go 1 this year, a 3 this year, next year you send a 2, and maybe another day 3 pick, or, a package of picks. And if they want a player in return, you send maybe a Leonard Floyd. You come up with a package. For them to come out and say, for them to come out and do 2 1s, right? But then on the flip side of it is you're giving up the 11 this year, which Myles Garrett is better than anybody in that draft at 11. Anybody, he's better than anybody in this draft number 1 over.
Talk your shit, Tony.
Right. And listen, I think Carter's a great player. I think in the future he will be a productive pass rusher. And who knows? He might be the next type of Myles Garrett pass rusher. But my thing is this. For the window that's currently open, for the age of this roster with McCaffrey, with Trent Williams, with George Kittle, if Debo's still here, with all these pieces and the pressure that's starting to loom on this front office in winning, you go with the proven commodity.
I agree.
In my opinion. So I guess to give up 2 1s, because if you give up the 1 this year, the 1 this year is the issue. That's the prize winner because it's the 11th pick overall. Right? Next year, if we make this trade, we win the Super Bowl, we're pick number 32. So who gives a fuck? Right? But you're still missing on the opportunity of adding a piece next year in the first round. So my thing is this. I would give up 2 number 1s, but I would try to get a pick swap next year in the second round with the Cleveland Browns to get higher in the second round.
I'm not mad at that.
Or you do you do 2 1s, a 3. You do 2 1s this year, a 3 and a 3, a 3 this year, a 3 next year, and then you ask for a 2 back in 20. So now you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. My bad. I was trying to. It's all right. You're back now. Go ahead.
All right. So now you give up your 2 1s and 2 3s, and you have 2 seconds next year. You still have your second this year. You're giving up a compensation pick this year, so you still have 2 3s left. So there's flexibility and there's maneuverability around. But my thing is this: you got to the way they invest in these defensive linemen, you can't say no to a player of this kind. I mean, you go out and give Javon Hargrave 4 years, $84 million, but you're going to say no to 2 first-round picks to the defensive player of the year?
Well, yeah, because you got that for just money. That didn't involve draft capital. And so this is one thing I will say, and this is something that people have. It's like, I don't know why on earth people don't believe it, but the Niners don't value draft picks the way that people think they do. The Niners will give up draft picks.
I think
look at what we did for
value. I think they value day 2 and 3 picks more than they do the first round.
Day 1 at 1,000%, 1,000%. I mean, so you look at what they gave up to get Christian McCaffrey. It was less than the value of a first round pick in general, right? They gave up a bunch of first round picks to move up to number 3 to see who was going to be available for them. What did we give up to get D Ford? Do you remember?
Second round pick.
Second round pick. Okay. D Ford was how old when we made that trade?
Oh, I don't remember.
D Ford trade.
28. But there's context with that.
So we gave up a second round draft pick. It seemed that was all we gave up for him.
And they signed him for 5 years, $85 million.
So let's see how old he was at the time, because I think it's more because he's only 33 right now. D Ford's only 33 right now. So we got him in 2019. What is that? That's that's 6 years ago. That's 6 years ago we made the trade for him. He's 33 now, so he was also pretty young. You were right. I mean, damn, he was 27, 28 years old, and we only gave up a second round pick. Oh, Tony, man, I don't know if the Niners are going to give up 2 firsts, and I think they'll get 2 firsts for Myles Garrett, bro. I think Cleveland will get 2. Would I do it? Yes. Now let me be very clear what I'm saying. I would do it. I think the Niners could try to negotiate a little too long and too far with the Browns and kind of, talk their way out of it. Does that make any sense? Like, I could see John Lynch calling and say, hey, we'll give you guys a first and a conditional 5th. It can go up to a 3rd if he does X, Y, and Z type of thing, right? And I think all the while, there's going to be people sitting around saying, no, we'll give you 2 firsts. Like, there's nothing to debate. We're going to give you 2 firsts for it. Imagine a team.
This is the type of negotiation, Mike, where if you're interested in this dude and you want him, you go full in with your best offer. And if they don't accept your best offer, you step back and that's it.
You think the first phone call from John Lynch is going to be their best offer?
Honestly, Mike, it wouldn't shock me. Not in this situation, not for this type of player.
Best and final. That's what you're saying. That phone call concludes with best and final, and then they hang up and say, ball's in your court, and then allow them to call around to other teams?
I
don't think you can do that.
I say it's their best offer, and Cleveland will come back with one thing. They'll contemplate and give their final offer immediately, and that's it. I don't think this can be an extended negotiations. I think this is either you go home, you go all in, or you go home. That's it.
That's scary. I think the Niners could end up hurting themselves if they call with their best offer. I think they have to come in. I still think it's a negotiation. We haven't heard that the Browns want to trade him.
Let me
ask you what I'm saying.
Let me ask you something. Do you think Howie Roseman would hesitate on giving 2 first-round picks?
No, not at all.
So why should the Niners? That's the difference.
No, I'm with you. Again, the logic is there. I say do it. This is me. I don't know that the Niners do that first phone call is all I'm worried about. I'm really worried about first phone call. I don't want them to tap dance around this and then end up missing out. But again, when there is a top edge rusher available, Khalil Mack, the Niners literally had the best offer, but the Raiders team didn't want to work with the Niners. That's documented.
Then that's out of your hands. There's nothing you can do about that. If you could say, I'll give you my next 5 first-round picks, if they don't want to deal with you, they're not going to take it.
Do you think that they want him to go within the conference? You know what the best part about this is? I'm not gonna bullshit you here. I think Saquon Barkley is going to force them to trade him outside of the conference. I think what happened with Saquon Barkley, although he wasn't traded, going to a team within your division, like their GM should be fired. It's 3 strikes. It's 3 strikes. The team owner didn't want him to leave. Strike 1, he left. Then he said, I would hate to lose him to somebody in the division. That's strike 2. That same team in your division, results be damned, are playing in the Super Bowl because of, not despite of, because of that guy. That's strike 3. He should be fired. I think because of that, the Browns can't dare trade him to somebody within the conference. Forget the division. I don't think they can trade him to somebody in the conference, bro.
True.
So that favors now you're talking about, again, you got to look back at his statement and what he wrote in bold letters, right? Like, I'm out of here, but he wants to compete. That is the biggest thing to me with this whole thing. With that in mind, I have requested a trade. I have requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. I think this is massive. Right? He wants to go. So now NFC teams. Okay, what 3 teams have represented the NFC in the Super Bowl in the last 5 years? Well, forget it. Just go for the last 5 years. The Niners, the Eagles, the Lions didn't do it. Right?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, they're not. I don't think he's going to want to go to Tampa Bay. Right? Who else? The Rams? Could the Rams be on maybe? Maybe? Did they try to do a Myles Garrett, Cooper Kupp? Blah, blah, blah. Did they try to include a player in that? Maybe. Right?
Like,
I don't think it's coincidence that Myles Garrett puts this out hours ago, and then the Rams right away, oh, Cooper, you're on the trade block, just so you know. Just putting that out there. Right? Like, just putting that out there. Like, dude, you're not going to be back, bro. Like, just putting that out there. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think now everyone's going to start saying who is on the trade block in the NFC. I expect these rumors to continue for the next 2 or 3 weeks about who's going to be available because no trades can happen yet.
Of course. You're going to hear rumors flying out the ass. But my thing is, like, we're not talking about a Cooper Kupp. You're not talking about just a NFL player. You're talking about a dominant pass rusher. You're talking about a piece that could take an average team and put them over the top. So my thing is this, like, right? If we sit down, right, and I'm John Lynch and you're Robert Saleh, and like, just real quick, I'm going to step away from this 1 second, and we're going to talk about the Robert Saleh thing. We talked about it already, but I think Robert Saleh has full carte blanche on this fucking defense. Whatever he wants, it's his. Whatever he feels, it's going to be his. He's already got full control of that staff, other than Chris Kosarek. He's interviewing.
Well, never mind. I'll shut up. We'll get to that too. Don't worry. We got the DB.
Well, the linebacker coach, obviously, but I mean, there's no issue with the linebackers as far as But the secondary coaches, he's already interviewing different secondary coaches. But if they're sitting down in their off-season meetings before the actual trade markets, free agency, draft process in full motion. Trades and free agency kicks in with their pro player personnel guy. We'll get R.J. Gilliam. And R.J. Gilliam's sitting there and saying, John, we can get the best pass rusher in the NFL right now. And if Robert Saleh, you as Robert Saleh, and say, John, if you add Myles Garrett to this defense, we're going to have a top defense, and we're going to have the number 1 defense in the NFL. Because the pass rush only makes the back end better.
Bro,
right?
You
go all in. This is a move.
Holy shit.
Where it's you go all in or don't waste your time doing it. This is the type move where you know what I see this as, Mike? I see this as the Dallas Cowboys saying to the 49ers, name the price for Charles Haley. Because it's kind of a similar situation. It was known that the Niners didn't want Charles. They couldn't. Well, certain individuals didn't want to deal with Charles Haley anymore. It was out.
Right.
Myles Garrett said he doesn't want to be in Cleveland no more. I want to be out. So you're in a similar situation. Cleveland, as much as they say we're not going to trade him, we want him here, we want him here. You can't have a guy there that's not doing nothing for you, especially on how bad your roster currently is. Now there's going to be a trickle-down effect with Cleveland. If this guy goes, this guy's already been talking about retiring. The offensive lineman, Benito, I think his name is. So my thing is this. You know Myles Garrett's going to be available. You know there's going to be a ton of teams with GMs that have that I don't give a shit mentality, and I want him. And I don't want him to go to San Francisco and pair up with Nick Bosa. So I'll pay more to prevent that from happening. That's why I think it is honestly imperative. If they feel this is the piece, and they've been searching for that defensive end for years.
Come on now.
To go
on now.
If they feel this is the piece, you pick up that phone and you give them a fucking offer that the Cleveland Browns can't say no to.
Well, and then before you hang up, you say, call me back after you check around. That's the key. That's the key. You can't just shut the door and say final offer.
No, you say best offer, and then they're gonna come back. They're gonna be like, well, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now I'm gonna play the devil advocate right now. And this is where it gets shady. Where it doesn't get shady, but it kind of makes you think, is it the right move to give up that to get this player here? You move on from it, you make the trade, and you give up the 2 picks. You give up 2 1s, 2 3s, and a swap at 2 for 2026 to get higher into the second round rather than being on all the way in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So you're picking between 33 and 40, we'll say, instead of picking all the way at 60, whatever. Right?
Right.
They pull the deal. They agree to the trade. He's not demanding for an extension right away. He's willing to play on what he has. They win the Super Bowl. Well, he's willing to go in to keep the roster together and add more pieces to win the Super Bowl. That's what he wants to do. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to go to a winner.
Right. Yeah.
So now the question is this. You make the trade.
Because he's also got the power to say, I'm not going there. So don't even entertain them.
Yes.
Boom.
So now here's the thing. Here's the flip side of it. And this is where there's no guarantee that this could be the top defense, right? Because in 2024, what was the 49ers' issue? They couldn't stop the run. So now you have 2 monsters on the outside. You finally paired Bosa up with another friggin' monster.
And Bosa was, before this year, was good against the run.
Until they started running away from him, and then they started, cracking down on him. You need that other piece. But now you have the best 2 defensive ends in the league. Well, top 2. You have, right? You need to now take that second pick and solidify inside.
Well, and that's the key. Now, if the Niners were to get Garrett, I can guarantee you their first draft pick is going to be a defensive tackle. I can guarantee you.
I would even say this, Mike. And I'm being dead honest with you. You're adding DJ Jones plus a defensive tackle inside.
There's three players that you're adding. And 2 of the names you guys aren't going to hear. I personally don't really want to hear DJ Jones, but I get it. I do understand it. But DJ Jones is going to be one. Here's the 2 that you guys are going to want to hear. Hargrave and Kinlaw. I know you don't want to hear those names at all. I know it.
See, but I don't think Kinlaw's going to come back. I don't think Hargrave's going to come back.
No, so they said when they made the announcement, the post June 1st cut, we are interested in him, but at the right price. They did say that. You guys got to remember that what we saw of Hargrave was a shell of him because he was battling injuries the entire time he was here. That is not the true version of him. And I tried to tell people that Hargrave and Armstead are very similar. Don't expect a bunch of sacks. He is a clog in the middle. He's good against the run. Like that's actually his strength. He's not a sack master. He did get that 1 year with double digits, and not to say he couldn't replicate it if he had Bosa and Garrett. Because remember, that 1 year he did have it, think about that Eagles defensive line. The 1 year he did get the double digits. The 1 year that Armstead got double digits. Think about who we had on the edges, right? Like, all of a sudden, you got pressure coming from everywhere now. You can't double both edge guys and think that those interior guys aren't going to get some sacks every once in a while also, right? So now all of a sudden, Hargrave becomes more appealing, right? The league is going to be like, yeah, this guy's injured. The Niners got rid of him, so what are we going to do with him? The Niners also know, like, hey, like, this guy was injured. He's healthy now. He's healthy now. He all of a sudden has a value.
That leads me to this question. When we had the two outside guys and the two inside guys were eating because of the two outside guys, who was our defensive coordinator?
Robert Saleh.
So that's why I think this Myles Garrett thing.
Oh, yeah. It ties everything together beautifully, man. It ties everything together beautifully. Listen, if I'm the 49ers, I don't sleep until I come up with a package that the Browns are going to accept. Like you said, Tony, you got to make them an offer that they cannot refuse.
I think it's
simple.
they're going to have to do an overpay. I think it's going to come down to they're going to have to give a bigger package more than what they really want to, and I think this could be something that where it could hurt them potentially. Not hurt them, but stall the process of replenishing the roster with youth and draft. So, I mean, you have to consider this. This is a must consider. I'm not saying.
Come on, give it to us.
I don't know, man. What I'm just afraid of. I'm just afraid of if he wants. My thing is if he wants that contract at the trade.
Well, and so this is why I don't really care about the contract that. Not the contract. I don't care about the cost that Lombardi was saying. If a trade and contract are on the table for Garrett, I still think you got to do it, Tony. I still think you have to do it. And so what that means is two more restructures than the three that we're already anticipating. That's all that means to me.
I think right off the bat, this is what I think. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I think they bring back Kinlaw on a 1-year prove-it deal. That's just
Did
me.
you say Kinlaw?
Not Kinlaw. Greenlaw. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
On a 1-year prove-it deal because honestly, Mike, I'm going to be honest with you. I have a funny
Robert Saleh loves Kinlaw.
Greenlaw. I have a funny feeling. Watch Washington with Greenlaw. So if he comes back on a 1-year deal, it's going to be because of Saleh. It's not going to be because of the money. And it's not going to be because of the term of the contract. It's going to be because of Saleh and an opportunity to win a Super Bowl with the 49ers with this team. That's number one. If they can't bring him, they're going after the guy from the Jets. Sherwood. I can see that. That makes 100% sense. He is a 49er linebacker to the T. Undersized, former safety, run sideline to sideline, thumper, plays with intensity. He is the next in line. He goes above the kid they draft, D. Winters, right off the bat. They're going to have to move on. They're going to have to make some decisions as far as what they're going to do with Leonard Floyd, Yatir Gross Matos, and stuff like that. So we're going to have to see what transpires with that and how they go. I'm telling you, I just have a gut feeling that this could be an off season that led to the Super Bowl because I honestly think they don't want to go through this again.
This should be the year that we saw from the Rams a couple years ago when they went all in. This should be that offseason for the 49ers. I'm talking about moves that are going to have people saying, we can't afford this guy, we can't afford that guy, why would we do that? And it's going to have the rest of the NFL saying, oh, the Niners, this is it for them. They went all in, but they're going to be trash the next 3 years. Just like we said about the Rams, right? And then,
not 3 years. I think they're going to mortgage their future. Like, I think – well, how do I say this? I think they can get $25 million right off the bat. They can restructure. Fred Warner. They could extend George Kittle. They could pick up $25 million like that just with those two.
For sure.
So now you're talking about $75 million.
Which is a ton of money, by the way.
I think Brock Purdy is. I think Brock Purdy's contract is going to shock a lot of people.
I don't. I think the structure of it will shock people, but the average per year is going to be the average per year. He's coming in 40 plus for sure.
There you go. What'd you just say?
40 plus for sure.
40 plus a structure. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's all about the structure.
It's going to shock a lot of people. Okay. On paper, he's going to be making $60 million on the AVR, average per year. When they announce this contract, everyone's going to be like, oh my God, they gave him $60 million a year, but it's not going to be that. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the contract that he's going to sign is going to segue or lead the way to put a monster team together. I'm talking like Norton, Gary Plummer, Richard Dent, Charles Mann, Deion Sanders, Toy Cook, Ricky Jackson, Bart Oates. I'm talking. With that being said, it still gives the Niners a window where they're not going to be as devastated as they were when they did this in '94 because they're going to have two massive contracts that could potentially be coming off the books in 2 years. Actually, they could have three massive contracts in 3 years. It's going to be Trent,
Kittle.
It'll be actually more. It could be Trent. It could be Kittle. It could be Ayuk. It could be CMC.
Fuck, Debo. Like, what are we talking about?
That's what I'm saying. So I think the way they structured everything, I think they loaded this up for this.
For this moment right here.
Because there's wiggle room now. And I'm not the guy that likes to keep pushing money down the road, but
I know you hate that actually. It's more than just
see what the league is doing because the league allows it now.
Yes, sir.
All these contracts have void years at the end of it, and it just keeps putting like another $8 million per year for the next 6 years. That's $48 million you could spread out over 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is nothing if the cap goes up. That's the main factor. If the cap stops going up, then there's a problem. But I think this could be the offseason where they're going in. I'm not going to say they're going to do it, but they're going in with the mentality to say, I had enough of this shit. We need to go to the Super Bowl. It's in our house this year. Let's go.
Oh, come on. And just like I said, like the Rams, pushing all the chips on the table when the Super Bowl is going to be in their house. I want y'all to remember that. The Rams were the first team in NFL history to win a Super Bowl in their house. The Niners could be the second team to do it. But it has to happen this coming offseason. Has to happen this year. It has to happen this year, guys. And listen, it's not just us fans. It's not just us content creators that want it, right? I'm going to say it now. This post that I'm about to share with you guys is going to be from a 2025 49ers captain, Deon Lenore. I'm telling you right now, like the team, the players, they're all in. What type of animal you want to be? We got hyenas, bears, lions, and gorillas, Flash Garrett. Like, what's up? Like, he's asking him straight up. Now, I see the hyena thing. That's him. I see the bear thing. That's Bosa. Who the hell is the lion? Is that Fred Warner? Did they call Fred Warner the lion?
The gorilla is Trent Williams.
Right. He lost me on the lion thing. Is that Fred? It's got to be Fred, right? Fred's got the mane. He's got all this going on, right? Is it that? Is it the lion? Is that Fred? Anybody out there in the chat, if you guys know who he's referring to for the lion, like, let me know what you guys think. But my thing is this. You have the best defensive player for the most consistent defensive player for the 49ers last year calling for him to come out here. You can argue with whoever.
It's not only that. And this is what happened with the 49ers when they in 94 when they went to the Super Bowl and won it. You saw the 49ers hand out big contracts to Richard Dent, to Ken Norton, to George, to Gary Plummer, to Bart Oates. And then all of a sudden, that first wave of free agency went, and then you started seeing the guys come for 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. And that's what's going to happen. If the 49ers could pull a trade to land Myles Garrett, okay, extend Brock Purdy, keep the core intact, re-sign Dre Greenlaw, add a middle-tier defensive tackle, you're going to see guys, shit, man, I only got another year or two left in my career. I'm signing with the Niners for a year.
Yeah, all of a sudden free agents want to come back here.
Well, not the free agents want to come here. I just think the problem is with the tax problem in California, how it went up from 94 to previously in 94 till now is a big issue. Okay, so I honestly think they're going to put that aside and say, screw it. Like Ricky Jackson. Ricky Jackson, when he signed with the Niners, he signed like a 1 year, I think it was $195,000 or no, $375,000 contract with an incentive of $1 million if he made it to the Super Bowl. So he gambled on it. He went to a team where he knew he was going to win the Super Bowl. That was fucking. If you think about it, you know how many Pro Bowl players, Pro Bowl pass rushers that were on that roster? I'll name them all for you. Richard Dent, he was hurt. He didn't play them, but Richard Dent was there. Charles Mann was there. Brian Young was there. Ricky Jackson. 4 Hall of Fame, not Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame pass rushers.
Oh, Hall of Fame. Okay, sorry.
I think Charles Mann made the Hall of Fame. I'm not 100% sure, so don't hold me to it. But I think he did. 3 definites, 4 questions. One question. Right? Like, think about it. Chris Dolman was not there when they won the Super Bowl. He came 2 years after with Mariucci.
He is the Nevada Athletics Hall of Fame. He is not. He's the Washington Commanders Ring of Fame.
He didn't make the Hall of Fame?
But he did not make the Hall of Fame. However, he was second-team All-Pro and Super Bowl champion 3 times. So, yeah.
So it was 3 Hall of Famers. Brian Young.
Yes, sir.
Richard Dent. And Ricky Jackson. Not to mention Deion Sanders. Not to mention Tim McDonald didn't make the Hall of Fame. Merton Hanks didn't make the Hall of Fame.
But I get what you're going at, man. But this is an opportunity to be special. I'm not going to lie to you, man. This is an opportunity to break the mold and to get some pressure off of Kyle Shanahan. Because I said it the second they signed. Oh, Tim Harris, that's a good one. I said it the second that they signed Robert Saleh. The excuses go out for Kyle now. There's no more, I was worried about the defense. Then they signed Brandt. Signed Brandt, and it's like, oh, well, you don't have the excuse of worrying about special teams anymore either now. Like that, those excuses are gone. This is the move that solidifies Kyle Shanahan. This is the move that gets him out of the hot seat and buys him another 8-10 years if he wants. That's what this one move does.
I think this move will tell you what kind of GM John Lynch is.
Wait, hold on. I don't like that. Because we could not get Myles Garrett. That's not a reflection of John Lynch. Because we didn't get Khalil Mack. But we know already. You get what I'm saying? Like, we know. We already know that John Lynch is an aggressive GM. We know that already. I don't think the results of this are going to be.
That's why I'm saying this. We know the type of GM he is. And we also know what he has done to try to find a defensive end opposing of Nick Bosa.
Okay. I see what you're doing.
We went with D Ford, gave him a long-term deal, didn't work out. Tried to sign Samson Ebukam.
Well, I can't say it didn't work out at all. We did get to the Super Bowl. We didn't win it, but we got there.
Saying, like the longevity in the production. He was a 1-year wonder, and then he just failed.
Physically, his body fell apart. I get it.
So this is going to show what kind of GM John Lynch is. We know he's aggressive. But is he aggressive enough, or is he the type that's going to go put his name on the line to bring the best pass rusher in the NFL in?
I'll tell you what.
This is. Let me tell you something. They survived trading up for a quarterback, giving up multiple draft picks. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, will he survive if he's unable to bring in a player like Myles Garrett?
So the one good thing about John Lynch not landing Khalil Mack, I think he's going to be a little bit more stubborn this time. I think he's going to really, really pour it on, right? The question is, how does Cleveland feel about Kyle? Because their GM has only been there since 2020. Now that owner is that owner. You know what I'm saying? How do they feel about Kyle? Because I've said it multiple times this offseason, I think there's this dark cloud around Kyle. I think that Kyle is not as loved around the NFL as people think he is. Does he know his shit? Sure. Is he a good offensive coordinator? He's better than good. He's a great offensive coordinator. But I think that there's this cloud around Kyle Shanahan. You know what I'm saying? And so that makes me seriously wonder. It gives me a lot of pause with wondering just how many teams are going to be willing to work with Kyle Shanahan. Andrew Berry has no ties at all to Kyle Shanahan. None that I can find. I can't find it. I can't find any ties with Andrew Berry and Kyle Shanahan. I don't think he gives a damn about Kyle, which could work in our favor because if the ownership doesn't care for Kyle, his mindset is, well, Kyle never did anything to me. I have nothing to, really think about that, right? I mean, you look at I will say this, in 2016, Kyle wasn't there in 2016 either. 2016, he was with Cleveland still, but he was the vice president of player personnel. He has no ties to Kyle anywhere that I can find. So does that help us? Does that hurt us? I don't know. Man. There's no way they trade him inside that conference, though. There's no way they let that happen. I'm telling you guys right now that Saquon Barkley is the reason why any top player that's on the move will not land inside the same conference. Fuck division. It's never going to happen again. Not for the next 3 or 4 years. Not for the next 3 or 4 years. It's not going to happen. Myles Garrett will be in the NFC. Myles Garrett wants to go to a Super Bowl contending team. Myles Garrett knows the 49ers have a 4th place schedule. Myles Garrett knows about the offensive firepower that we have, and he knows Nick Bosa is here. Who's wearing number 95 for the 49ers right now?
I don't think anybody. Oh, Drake Jackson.
Yeah. And where's he at? On the sidelines.
Doing leg presses.
Right? Come on, man. This if the stars aren't aligned right now, bro, I don't know what else you guys need to see. I think that Andrew Berry and his inexperience with Kyle Shanahan works in favor of the 49ers. I have no idea how ownership feels, but I'm telling you that Andrew is going to make a decision of what he feels is best for his team. I'm telling you this right now also, and this is why the Niners are in a very unique position. You're probably not going to hear this anywhere else. When it comes to getting the best NFC pick, I'm talking team for Myles Garrett, the Niners have to be one of the top 4 choices for him in the NFC. They have to be. Tell me the top 4 teams that you think are going to be in contention for the Super Bowl next year. Tony, I'm putting this on you. Tell me the top 4. Myles Garrett perspective. Tell me the top 4 NFC teams that are going to be in position to make a deep run in the postseason.
Eagles, Detroit, Niners. I would say the Rams. as long
Okay.
as it comes back.
Okay. Respect. I like that. Right? Now, that takes care of from Myles Garrett's perspective. When you look at Cleveland and Andrew Berry's job is to get the best compensation, tell me which one of those teams that you just named are picking
It's the Niners.
the best in the first round.
It's the Niners hands down.
Oh, it's not even fucking close. Because all those other teams that you named are picking late 20s.
100%.
Or worse, the Eagles could be picking 32nd. Right?
True.
Detroit is picking what? 28, 29, 26, 28? Somewhere between there?
Yeah.
The Rams, same thing. You're telling me that we can get the 11th overall pick or one of those late 20s and 30s? Huh? He says honorable mention to Commanders. I like that. I like that, Terradome. I'm not going to lie to you, but I also believe that there's going to be that second-year drop-off. I think the Commanders caught a couple teams by surprise. I do. Even though I had them winning that division, and they did pretty good. Kudos to them. I like what the Commanders are doing. But let me be very, very clear here. I don't think Myles Garrett thinks that they're going to make a deep run next year. I don't think that for a second. Not a single person in the world believes in the Vikings making a deep run. Green Bay, maybe. Maybe Green Bay. But again, all of those teams are picking mid-20s at best. There's only one team that qualifies for all those things and picking just outside the top 10. And that right there is why Andrew Berry is going to be the most tempted to accept whatever offer the 49ers can give him. That right there. That's what sets us apart. We got the GM on our side, and we have the player on our side. That's going to be the difference. Other content creators, you're welcome. I just gave y'all something else to talk about. You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. The Niners are different than all those other contending NFC teams because this year was just like our Jimmy Garoppolo year where he blew his ACL and allowed us to get Nick Bosa. All of a sudden, we're up there. We're up there. Top 10? No, but 11. And now you got some wiggle room because they already got their own first-round pick. Huh?
No, you.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The Niners are in prime position in the NFC to make this move right now. John Lynch, you cannot fuck this up. I'm telling you, John Lynch. You can't, dude. You can't. I don't care what comes after pick 11. You make it happen. You make it happen. Because I'm going to be honest with you. In your 8-year history of drafting in the first round, I got 3 of those motherfuckers that I like. That's it. That's it. You got to make it happen. The stars have aligned for the 49ers to go out there and get Myles Garrett. He said it himself, I won a Super Bowl. In the AFC, you only got 2 teams. Okay, I'll call it 3. Ravens, Bills, Chiefs. And those are going to be very tempting. But they're all picking 28, 29, 30, and 31. That's where all those teams are. And that's it within the conference. Well, you don't want to be the guy that pushes them over the top. You don't want to be that guy. And don't talk to me about the Bengals. I see you, Niner faithful. Don't talk to me about the Bengals. They got a brand new defensive coordinator. We have no idea what they're going to look like this year. But the Niners got Robert Saleh back. Huh? The Niners have Kyle Shanahan. The Niners are going to go out there and do damage, man. They're going to do damage with or without Myles Garrett. That 4th place schedule? You know what place schedule the Detroit Lions are going to have? You guessed it. First place. You know what schedule those Rams are going to have? You guessed it. First place. You know what schedule those Eagles are going to have? You guessed it. First place. This is it. You guys ever see that Disney cartoon, Hercules? You ever watch that Hercules cartoon by Disney?
No.
No? It's okay. I did. And there was one day that Hercules was training for, and that was when the stars aligned in the universe, and all of a sudden, Mount Olympus was going to bust open, and all of the monsters were going to come out. And the whole world was going to be in chaos and in terror. It was that one day that they were training for. The stars aligned, and all hell broke loose. We have this Hercules moment on our hands, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. This is the moment, and the Niners got to fucking step up. This is the opportunity right here, bro.
I listen. They want to put themselves. I'm not going to say on the map. I think they are on the map, but if they want to put themselves in a position to be quickly turn into favorites. I mean, there's no other way to do it.
I'll put it to you like this. If the Niners get nobody else off season, keep their roster intact, sign their own free agents to fill the roster, do their draft picks, and add Myles Garrett, the Niners are immediate Super Bowl favorites in the NFC.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it to you like this. The Niners could do without Dre Greenlaw if they get Myles Garrett. Ooh, sounds blasphemous, right? Mike, how could you say that? You said that Dre Greenlaw was a heartbeat of that defense. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know why? Because the defensive line was letting us down, and we depended on those linebackers to set the tone. All of a sudden, we don't need them to set the tone. That tone is going to be set by the defensive line. All of a sudden, there's a difference. That secondary, they did their jobs all offseason.
Here's another thing,
Mustafa,
right?
Lenore, those guys were out there eating, bro. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, man. Get your shit off.
Good. Here's another thing like you got to think about. Like when this report came out, I saw somebody on Twitter and said he's on the wrong. He could be potentially on the wrong side of his career. You see, I don't see it as that. I think they're going off of observation of potentially maybe they see him not as explosive or not. I mean, I don't understand how where this. I forgot who it was, but they said something to that point. This guy's gonna be motivated, bro.
Oh, come on.
He's going from nothing to something. But again, it's very early in the process. I fully expect every team to be calling Cleveland. And if you're not
for sure,
you should be immediately removed from your position. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
All
31.
This guy's a player that's doesn't come around often. And if you said to me, listen, if you give us the 11th pick, we'll give you Myles Garrett. I'll pay for it. I'll write the 11th pick on a card and I'll go bring it to you and say the 11th pick's yours, bro. Give me Myles Garrett. Like
there you go.
This guy is a talent that doesn't come around often, and you know
he's generational. He's not just good. He's fucking generational.
100%. You take into totality the picture of the fourth place schedule. You have an abundance of cap space. You have a quarterback that's looking to get paid but not be, in my opinion, the type of person I think Brock Purdy is. I don't think he's in it for himself. I think he just wants to be paid. I think he just wants to continue playing as a 49er. He wants to be there, and that's it. I don't think it's going to get ugly. I don't think he's going to stamp his feet. I don't think he's going to be, I want 60-plus million. I don't see that in him.
Right.
He doesn't come off as that type of person. I think he will be fairly compensated, and I'm not saying the 49ers should lowball him. I think they should give him what they feel he's worth, and I think Brock Purdy knows what he's worth and is willing to take a deal and structure to help this team stay together. That's the type of kid Brock Purdy is.
Well, that's a little bit outside of his control because his agent is really going to be the one that says the final.
He's the one that gives the okay. And you got to realize
for sure.
Something.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something right now, and not a lot of people know this. His agent was formerly an assistant in the scouting department for the 49ers.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You mean tell me this guy was on our payroll and we get to pay him 10% of this next deal too?
So I just feel this is what I see. I think this offseason so far for the 49ers has got off to a massive start. A very positive start, an excellent start. Kyle's going to get his back to what he does best. He brought in a new special teams coordinator. He brought in the defensive coordinator he wanted from the jump.
He never wanted to lose him.
He doesn't have to worry about the defense anymore. He doesn't have to worry about the special teams no more. His main responsibility, I mean, obviously he has to oversee everything as head coach. But he doesn't have to stick his head in on meetings and take away time from game plan. He don't have to do that anymore. And the pressure is now off of his shoulders. Okay? We still don't know where Trent is, what Trent's thinking, what's going through his mind. We don't.
I don't care. I don't care.
That's one thing that I think we need to keep an eye on. The Brandon Ayuk injury coming back is another thing to keep an eye on. But
the Niners
think that this could be a massive turnover year for this roster.
Turn it over. Listen to me, Tony. The Niners just need to average 24 points a game. If we get Myles Garrett, that's all we need to average is 24 points a game. That's it.
I honestly think that people are overlooking something with Deebo Samuel. All right. This is it after this year for him. Now, is it coincidence he had his best game one of his best games this year versus the Miami Dolphins, who happened to be rumored to be moving on from Tyreek Hill? Or considering to be moving on from Tyreek Hill? I mean, two straight years Baltimore Ravens sniffed around Deebo Samuel. What I'm saying is this: I would love to have
who did Deebo use for contract negotiations? I don't know if y'all remember. Who was he seen out to lunch with? You guessed it, Mike McDaniels, right? Oh, come on now.
I would listen. I want whoever was there from day one that's still on this roster deserves to win a championship with the 49ers. That's my opinion. But I think if the Niners can do maneuvering and make this team better in whole, because I don't think the Niners have plans on bringing Deebo. I don't. Now watch. I said this, and tomorrow they can restructure this deal. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think George Kittle and Fred Warner are lifetime 49ers because they're coming towards the end of their contract. So I think they will be back. I think Bosa eventually will be in that same role.
Wait, let me stop you there real quick. Wait. Don't finish your thought. What's cheaper, contract extension or restructure? Isn't the extension cheaper? Because you get more years. Restructure keeps the same amount of years, right? An extension, you add more.
Extension, you're adding more money.
But you're also adding more years. I'm talking about what's better for the cap space. An extension. Yes?
I would say a restructure. Because what you're doing is when you do an extension, you're raising the guaranteed money and you're adding more money and you're adding more years. If you restructure, let's just say
restructure doesn't add guarantees?
It depends on how you do it. Like they restructured Trent and added guarantees. They added guarantees. All they did with what's his name's contract was just add guarantees to it. McCaffrey and Trent Williams.
Well, but that was because they had literally no guarantees. These Kittle and Warner have guarantees.
No, they're done. Kittle has no guaranteed money on this deal right now. The Niners could cut him and walk away.
I thought Kittle had some guarantees. It was just low.
It would be minimum. It would be if $5 million,
Yeah.
that's minimum, Mike, and you can push that over fucking 3 years if you.
Hold on, let me see. I thought Kittle had something left. I could be wrong, by the way. 2025, his guarantees, his base salary is $14 million. Kittle's got plenty of cash. His base. This is the highest year he's ever had. His base salary is $14 million.
I read something the other day. Let me see if I can find it.
I just pulled it up on Spot Rack. His base salary is 14.4, and his restructure.
You gotta watch with Spot Rack though. Spot Rack's. Let me look at it. Hold on. I gotta try to Google that article.
Let me try over the cap then while we're both looking it up. But I thought Kittle had plenty because he just did a restructure. So I thought he had a lot left. All right. Spot Rack says prorated bonus this year is 6.6. I mean, not Spot Rack. What is this thing called? Over the cap. It says 6.6. Yeah. And then his base is 14.4. He's got $20 million coming his way this year.
His base salary is if he plays. 14. Yes.
What the fuck?
If he doesn't play, like you're confusing. That's his base salary, right? That doesn't mean it's fully guaranteed. Let me see something here.
They're damn sure not cutting him.
Okay. Then if you look at the post 6-1 release and trade, you see the savings.
Wait, say that again. What would you say? If you look at what?
If you slide all the way to the right, and it says you see the scissors. You see the red scissors?
Oh, you must be on Spot Rack.
Yeah, because Spot Rack gives you the cut.
All right, so I'll go back to that then. All right, my bad.
So if he's post 6-1 release, post 6-1 trade, he's only on the books for $7 million this year, and they save 15. But if you look,
we don't have a tight end.
No, I'm not. What I'm just saying is this: if they wanted to move, let's say hypothetically, let's say they signed a new tight end, whatever. And they say, all right, we're done with Kittle. He's on the downside of his career. We're going to trade him. We're going to eat $7 million, but we're saving $15 million this year. So you're adding $15 million, and that's how you know his base salary is not guaranteed because it's instant savings.
Well, they better not do that shit. Kittle needs to be on this roster next year. No, I'm with you. I understand what you said, but you're breaking down how the
see those orange numbers.
Yeah.
So if they restructure, they'll add 2029. They take that $14 million, bring it down to like $5 million, and then they add it into 2029.
But then they're going to add a signing bonus over those years also, which is going to be divvied up. So you probably end up giving him like $28 million worth of a signing bonus, but you break that up over the next 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So now it's only $6 million a year, which is what his restructured proration was the last time they did it. So
right now, if the 49ers said we're cutting George Kittle, all he's guaranteed for right now is the $6 million to restructure because that's his money.
Which they probably already paid. It's just broken down over the years. Yeah.
Correct. That's all they would be responsible for as far as a cap hit. And then they would pick up $15 million in cap space. And then you see next year it says 13,625 dead cap.
Yeah.
That would be a dead cap hit. And then the $2 million would be a dead cap hit. And then 2028, there's no hit. So they wouldn't even have to add a year. They would just put more money to 2028 as a dead cap hit. But if anything, Kittle's going to get an extension where they would turn and say, okay, we're going to take that 13, we're going to take that 2 and add a couple more million to it, and we're going to guarantee that money. Meaning it'll be part of his base salary, his signing bonus, and they'll build it in as a roster bonus and shit like that.
Yeah, Kittle has never earned more than 5% of the cap space Right now, if they leave his contract the way it is, it's 8% of the cap space. So I definitely think there's a restructure in his future.
So
which
now
is going to help the Niners tremendously.
Fred Warner. Let me go back.
So Fred Warner's contract is it's a little different. So his contract, as far as he's got his dead cap right now is 17.9. So let's just call it 18. Oh no, that's next year. This year, oh Jesus, his dead cap is almost 29 million. Yeah, and again, he's
Warner,
also never made.
Fred Warner would be a restructure.
Yeah,
they would.
Well, he's also never made more than 5% of the cap, and he's here for more than double that at 10.6. So this is another year that they would look to do something.
They would take that number, the 17, lower that to probably 5, take 12 million, throw it on the back end of the void years. So if they cut him pre-June 1st, it's a $28 million cap hit. They only save $300,000. If it's post 6-1, it's $10 million dead cap. They save $18 million, but in 2026, he has a $17,939 dead cap, which was probably will be pushed to 27 and 28 to spread that number out. So they would restructure Fred and then push money to 2028 with the restructure as far as the dead cap. So you would see 2025 would go to like $5 million. That $12 million would be paid up front as a signing bonus, and then it would add probably money to 2026, 2027, and then the rest goes to 2028. I don't see him as an extension. I see him as potentially more adding guarantees.
Interesting. But either way, they both will create space. I was just wondering which one would create more space, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And Fred Warner should be a lifer. I'm not trying to be funny at all, but Fred Warner, George Kittle, they both should be lifers here. I don't want to see them go anywhere. I don't think Tony wants to see them go anywhere. I feel bad. Fred Warner started the year so strong, and then everything just seemed to fall apart on him. So you want to see it happen. Listen, but Tony, there is one more topic that we have to get to before we get out of here. I know we are approaching the 2-hour mark, but let's go ahead and talk about this here. The 49ers are scheduled to interview D'Angelo Hall. Have they done it already? D'Angelo Hall, DB.
No clue. I didn't even know they were interviewing him, so it's very tight-lipped. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, what are your thoughts on this? From 2023 till now, he's been an assistant defensive backs coach for the Panthers, but here he is now looking to be a DB's coach for the 49ers. What do you think about this young guy coming in here and working with the secondary here?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, it's new blood, new philosophies, new techniques, new teaching skills, new preparation. Maybe it's something that they might need. Is he becoming the DB coach? Is he becoming the passing game coordinator for the defense? Is he becoming? Is he going to be the DB coach with Bullock's becoming the passing game coordinator? Is either one of these guys going to fill the role of Staley? I would love to bring Joe Woods back into the fold. But clearly, Robert Saleh has the upper hand on this defense. So, again, carte blanche to do whatever he wants. And, I mean, I don't know, man. It's going to be very interesting. I expect to see a couple potentially different looks, not strictly cover 3. What Saleh originally ran, because you got to remember he was around the Green Bay Packers last year. He was around Doug Hafley. What's his name? Hafley. Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, and which, by the way, they interviewed their linebacker coach, and the Anthony Campanelli actually really shock them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm not going to say what I want to say about that situation, but that would have been
Why not? What are you biting your tongue? Why are you biting your tongue?
That would have been a good situation for us, but no, I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep it at bay. But yeah, Campanelli got hired.
Tony's holding out on you guys.
Campanelli got hired by Jacksonville for a defensive coordinator role, and congratulations to him. But this was Kyle's top pick, and Sal's the guy, and let's run it back with it, man. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. All right. So listen, man, we'll see what happens. We're going to keep our eye to keep our eyes on the timeline, to keep our ear to the streets on this. D'Angelo Hall, maybe interviewing with the 49ers about a spot in secondary coaching position staff. We do have a super chat here that I want to get to, Tony. We kind of did this earlier, but let's make it official here. What's it going to take? Name your price. This is going back to the Myles Garrett conversation. Tony, I'm the GM of the Panthers. I mean, damn, look at me, the Browns. And you're calling me, and I have an offer from 2 other teams already. You're the 49ers, and you're calling me. Make it work. Here we go.
You want me to give you an offer?
Yeah, I'm their GM. Hey, listen, man. Listen, John Lynch, we've got, I'm not trying to exaggerate, we got 30 other teams on our line right now. My lines are blowing up. So what you got for us, man? Because I don't want to waste your time or anything like that. I just don't know if you guys are in position to really do this. So what do you think?
I want to know what are you guys looking for?
We're looking for 7 first-round picks, but we know we're not likely to get it. So
we're not getting. You're not getting 7 first-round picks for anybody in the NFL. This isn't the NBA. So let's stop right there. Are you looking for players? Do you want young players? You want veterans with expiring contracts that can come in and contribute? Do you want all picks? What are you looking to do? What is your accomplishment to get out to move on from Myles Garrett, to get rid of this headache for you?
Well, Garrett's got some age with him, but you also know that he's been the defensive player of the year this last season, so he's clearly in his prime still. We're willing to take a little bit of everything, but right now, I want to focus on picks. Now, if you have a player that you think would be beneficial to us, I'd be willing to listen. I don't know if you guys want to come up off of a guy like Brock Purdy or something, but we're definitely willing to listen. You know what's going on with Deshaun here. We could use someone that's mentally strong and can run an offense, but I'm willing to listen to anything that you guys have to offer.
All right, so let's see. I don't have a roster with them in front of me. Let's see. We're going to start off. We're really interested with him. We don't know yet what he wants to do as a contract extension, so I'm a little bit lenient to go with a massive offer right off the jump if I know I don't have his services past his contract once it expires. I would have to talk to his agent before I would give you the max, but if we can come to something close and in the ballpark that would get you interested, first off, does he have no trade clause?
No, we wouldn't do that to a guy like this. We didn't think we would be here, but we're willing to work with him. We respect Myles Garrett. He's done a lot for this community and for this team. He's kept us relevant when we were pretty much falling apart. So we appreciate everything that he's done. We're willing to work with him right now.
Yeah, because my number one question is if he has no trade clause, and I know right now he's eliminating the Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles because he doesn't want to go to those cities, I know I have the upper hand. So that's why I'm asking you if he has no trade clause. If he does, who is his no trade clause?
Yeah, no trade clause at all.
Okay. I feel like you're blowing smoke up my ass, so I'm going to talk to his agent. So back to our conversation.
Well, the only reason you would have to talk to his agent is if you're going to do an extension. So, I mean, right now, you got to remember this. We're eating a lot of this money here. So unless you guys are going to restructure something, which would change the way that we look at what we're asking from it in return from you. I mean, like I said, we're all ears, man. But like I said, there's 30 other teams blowing us up right now. Everyone wants this kid.
Well, you're in a Quasimodo rebuild right now. Somewhat of a rebuild. You don't have a quarterback, so I would start off with offering you the number 11 overall pick. You could take your pick and trade up, and maybe get a quarterback to the number 1 pick if you want. That's up to you. We'll start off with the 11 players. I have a couple guys that might interest you. We have a running back in Mason. I'm sure you saw him. We have a couple young guys in our secondary that we might potentially be interested in moving off on. I could send you a pass rusher who's got on the last year of his deal with a minimum salary that could come in and help you to work with a young pass rusher that you're looking to bring in. I'm talking about Leonard Floyd. So my start would be I'm offering you a 1. I would offer you a 1 this year, a 3 this year. I would throw in Leonard Floyd, and I would do a pick swap with the 2 next year.
A 1. You said a 1, a 2, and
I would do a 1, a 3 in 2025, and a pick swap in 2.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. I would do.
I want to let you know, you talk about blowing smoke up our asses and all that kind of stuff, man. I mean, Mason is not under contract for you guys next year. He's a restricted free agent. So, I mean, he may just walk and you guys just put him on IR to finish the season. I doubt you guys are going to do anything. I mean, if we're going to have an honest conversation with each other, we need to stay honest all the way.
Tender him and we can put him in part of his deal.
You're going to tender a guy coming off of IR?
Yeah, we could tender him and put him in a part of his deal. We own the rights to him as restricted free agent.
Okay.
So I need to know what you're thinking. I gave you a baseline of 11. The 11 in the first round this year. I'll give you our top 3rd round pick, not our compensatory, our first 3rd round pick this year. And a pick swap of 2 with Leonard Floyd to come in and help you ease your transition for a new pass rusher.
Well, so the issue is this, man. I'll be upfront with you, man. Myles Garrett has made it very clear. You know, he really wants to win a Super Bowl, and we respect you guys as a contender over there in the NFC. We know you guys had a down season and all, and we could benefit from that 11th pick, but I just don't think you're offering enough. We have a couple of teams coming in, and I'm not going to lie to you. We've got a couple of offers with multiple first-round picks from other Super Bowl contenders here. And you haven't said multiple first rounds yet. Now, 11 is very, very nice this year, but that doesn't do much for us. If you guys end up going where Myles thinks you guys have the potential to go, we're talking about 32 next year. So 11 and 32, I might be better off taking a team that, you know, might give me 2 picks in the 20s right now. Is that your best offer? I tell you what, we are definitely in need. You know, Nick Chubb is done. We had to finish. He finished the season on IR. We are looking for another running back. Is Christian McCaffrey available?
No, we're going to stick with McCaffrey. He's part of our plans going forward.
Okay.
We have Garendo, if he interests you. We have Mason. What other positions are you looking at potentially?
You know, it's been a pretty tumultuous year, and we have to find. I tell you what, man, if you got any wide receivers that you think might be beneficial to a inexperienced quarterback, you know, we've got some guys that we're looking at here, maybe in this draft, but we are looking to rebuild that quarterback room, and so we're going to need some reliable guys. What about Juwan Jennings? Is a guy like him, is he available? I can't imagine you guys are paying a whole lot of money for him. You know, what about Debo or Juwan? Are either one of those guys available? They could be a new quarterback.
So if you're interested in a receiver, obviously you're going to go the young route and draft a quarterback. You want a guy that's going to be there to get the ball in his hands quick. You want a quarterback to get the ball out of his hands quick. That tells me you're looking at somebody with the potential of like a Debo Samuel type wide receiver. You know, tunnel screens, you know, jet sweeps, reverses. You can line him up in the backfield. He can do returns for you. He's good with the ball in his hands. He's not the great separator, but he is a good player with the ball in his hands. He's one of the most dangerous guys with the ball in his hands. So let's start off with this. We'll give you the 11 this year because that holds the most value out of anybody that you're probably speaking to right now as far as first round pick this year. So we'll go with the 11. I'll keep the 3 in there. We'll give you Leonard Floyd. I'll give you Leonard Floyd
I tell you what, you're hesitating a little bit. I tell you what, I like your first, I like your third, I like Floyd. Give me Debo, and we'll send you back a fourth.
What year?
Next year. 2026.
Let's do the 11. We'll give you our first third. I want a fifth this year because I don't have a fifth. I will give you Debo, Leonard Floyd, and give me a pick swap at 2 next year.
Swap at 2. Oh, I mean, listen, man, we're going to have a new quarterback. We don't know how this offense is going to look. That swap could be top 10. I mean, and again, if you guys are going where Myles thinks you guys are going, we're talking about 64. That's a little too rich. How about this? We'll do a pick swap in the third next year, and we call it a deal. We get 1, 3, Floyd, Debo, and a pick swap in the third.
And a fifth this year.
You were paying attention. 3, 5 this year. I think that might be a deal. I think that might be a deal right there.
So just to go over one more time, we get Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
I get a 5 in 2025.
Uh-huh.
We do a pick swap at 3 in 2026.
Yep.
You get Floyd and Debo to help.
I also get your third this year. You threw your third in there.
Yeah, I didn't say. I'm sorry. The third this year. The first third this year.
So what I'm walking away with is a 1, 3, Floyd, and Debo, and a swap of the 5th round.
Yep.
This year.
No swap of 5th round this year. I get a 5th from you. I get Myles Garrett, a 5th this year, pick swap of 3 next year. You get the 11th, Debo,
third,
Floyd, a 3rd, and pick swap of 3 next year.
Deal.
Deal. Because guess what?
Because we got to pay Debo next year.
You just offset my salary for him this year. You don't even realize it.
Well, we got to pay Debo and Floyd if we want to keep them long term after this year.
You just offset that, and now I can go outside T. Higgins. I can go out and sign T. Higgins, extend Kittle, restructure Fred Warner, and add pieces to his defense.
Oh, my God. Debo makes this an enticing place for incoming quarterbacks, right?
You heard what I said, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Niner fans out there, what do you guys think about that? Would you guys give up a 1 this year, a 3 this year, Debo Samuel, Leonard Floyd, all this year, and a swap of 5s next year?
No, a swap of 3s while getting Garrett and a 5 back next year. No, getting Garrett. We get Garrett this year. You get a 5 this year, a swap of 3s next year.
Bow says done. They said not Floyd. Look at this. Look at where you guys get stubborn. You guys want to pass up. Look at Jaquia. What are you doing, bro? Why? You're gonna pass up on this trade offer to get Myles Garrett for Leonard Floyd? What?
Leonard Floyd won't even see the field.
Right. He's gonna come in there like 29 snaps all year long. Are you kidding me? Garrett's not coming off the field ever. Ever. You got to let that one walk, bro.
And don't forget, you have, I don't know where he's at in his recovery, but Drake Jackson. This move cleared salary for the 49ers.
Well, Debo helps you guys out a lot. Getting rid of Debo helps you guys out a ton this year. But you guys, oh, damn, I forgot. I should have negotiated that you guys take on his entire contract. So
the deal's done. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I forgot. I forgot to say it. I had that in the back of my mind, but I was setting up something else for the end of the show over here, and I forgot about that part. But that's cool. You got it. Look, not Gilliam is saying you get Jawan Jennings, not Debo. No, sir. We want Debo. We got a new quarterback coming in here, and we want a guy that can do something on special teams as well as be dynamic in the backfield and closer to the line of scrimmage. So we're going to take Debo. Debo can do a lot of really good things with the ball.
So what are we thinking his deal, man? What are we thinking?
Come on, faithful. What do you guys think out there? We want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? All right, so let me type it out here. Here we go. 49ers get. Here we go. Garrett. A
2025 fifth rounder.
2025 fifth.
A 2026 pick swap. Third
swap. That's it.
And in return, the Cleveland Browns would get 11
for 11.
Their first third rounder. I don't know the number.
First rounder, right? All right, let's look up the third rounder.
I think it's
let's look up
70.
Hold on, it's all right. 49ers 2025 draft picks. All right, so right now the top third round pick for the 49ers is 75.
So you get 75.
Third, which is 75. We get Debo Samuel.
And Leonard Floyd.
Leo Nerd. Floyd. And why isn't it taking my spelling of Floyd? Leonard Floyd and a 2026 third, which was a swap. All right, guys, here we go. You guys say yay or nay on this deal. 49ers get Garrett, 2025 fifth, 2026 third swap. The Niners give up 11 third, Debo, Floyd, and a 2026 third. They say yay. Yes, need a wide receiver, though. Oh, yeah, you guys are going to be in wide receiver fucking trouble. You guys are crippled at wide receiver right now. You got beat up Ayuk. You got slow-ass Jennings. No Debo. And you're hoping Pearsall does something. I mean, come on. Your offense now is all of a sudden in a lot of trouble. And you got to make a deal with Kittle now because now Kittle's going to ask for a new deal. If you're getting rid of Debo, you got to have somebody to throw the ball to.
We got the money now.
I don't know, man.
We got the money, bro. Listen, I'm one step ahead. I know. I felt you out. I got the hook. You took the hook.
Your offense is struggling, bro.
You took
your
the
offense
hook,
is struggling.
And then I pulled it right on you. It's not struggling. It'll be all right. I got plans.
All right, so let me ask you this question. What's your plan for the wide receiver position then? And please don't tell me Cowing. This guy couldn't get on the field this year, and the Niners were like desperate. So don't tell me Cowing. Give me something realistic, Tony. And you guys can't afford T. Higgins.
This trade was real.
Let me be clear. Before you say anything, hold on. T. Higgins is off the table. Remember that the Bengals offered him 3 different contracts. He didn't take them. That's why they settled on the franchise tag. So he wants good money here. So let's be very clear here. I would love to know what your plan is at the wide receiver position.
Right now, you go into the season with Pearsall, Jennings. Where is that piece of paper?
Cowing. Ronnie Bell is back.
Ronnie Bell's in Detroit.
I thought Ronnie Bell. Who? What? Wait. What's the other receiver? There was a young receiver that signed the futures deal. God damn it.
Where's that?
Oh God.
Hodgkinson.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Hodgkins?
Hodgkinson.
No, that's not who I'm thinking about. There's somebody else.
All right. So right now, the top free agents we have, free agents available, wide receivers. You got Higgins, Godwin, Diggs, Allen, Marquise.
Well, first, wait. Before we do that, let's talk about the Niners' current wide receivers after this trade. Let's talk about the current wide receivers after.
We did.
Who are they?
You got Pearsall and Jennings would be penciled in right now. You have Ayuk that's going to be coming back off the injury. They don't know where they're at with him. They don't know when the recovery and when he will be officially ready.
That's 3
to play. You also have Cowing. You also have I don't know the depth chart off the top of my head, so I can't really.
Yeah, I was trying to remember who it was.
Was
it Martin?
Hodgson. They signed Hodgson. They signed Gage back. Tay Martin, Texans. You got to go out and you got to look at the free agent market. So they would have to go out and jump on a player.
Oh, look at Boyd. They cannot trade D'Lo because of that huge dead cap. Uh-oh. That dead cap stays with the team. Remember, that was the whole purpose of Lombardi's post.
Look at pre and post.
There's no post is a post June 1st cut. That he's not getting cut. He's getting traded.
There's a post June 1st trade too.
I've never heard of that in my entire life. Are you serious?
You could designate a trade post June 1. I think
Deebo Samuel contract. Tony, you were saying some shit that I've never heard of in my entire life. Hold on. Let me see. I'm pulling up Deebo's contract right now. I don't see it, bro. I see $31 million dead cap, bro. That's what I see.
Look at the scissors.
Here, I'll share. That's the scissors, and it's black. It's not here. I'll pull it up. Hold on. I'll pull it up. Bang. You tell me what you want to see here. Where'd it go? Here it is. I lost it. Here we go.
You got
the scissors. The scissors are here.
Click it. Look down.
Release. Okay, trade right here. Dead cap. Post 6/1, $10 million.
So they saved $5 million.
You like that?
So here's a very interesting situation. If I would keep an eye on the situation.
Wait, hold on. It says pre 6/1 trade. See, this I wish we would have discussed this. I wish we would have discussed this because Garrett's going to go in the first week of the trade deadline. He's not going pre 6/1. Now, I'm not saying this to put you in a pickle at all, but I wish I would have pulled this up beforehand. We all know that Garrett, you can designate it however you want, but that trade is happening immediately to reflect cap ramifications. This up here, can you see my cursor on the screen?
Yeah. So then all you would do is you would restructure his deal and put void years on it. So that's how you would beat that. Deebo.
You're not going to restructure his deal and then trade him because the dead cap numbers go up when you restructure a deal.
If you X that out, you see these orange years?
He's only got one. That's it.
So you restructure it and you push that money down. So you're taking $31 million and spreading it out over those 3 years.
Why would Deebo sign a restructure for you to trade him?
He's not doing that. It has nothing to do with Deebo. You're paying him the money, but all you're doing is taking that money and spreading it over the time. It's like a signing bonus.
I think you're making it sound good for this demonstration, but I digress because I don't know how it works.
Look up D Ford's contract with the Niners. I'm serious.
No, I'm pulling it up. I got you. I'm pulling it up. I don't want you to think I'm trying to do anything shady. I'm legit admitting I don't know. This salary cap shit is not my thing. So, contract details. Oh, it says inactive. So we're not. Oh shit, he's not on the books. He was off of the books last year. How about that?
That's what
it's
they
not
did.
pulling up a contract for him. All right, let me try over the cap instead of spot rack because they're not showing me anything for him. Let's try over the cap. All right, over the cap gives us something. So here we go. Let's share this one. Contract history. Where are we? It says terminated 2021. This isn't accurate either because we know that's not true.
Go to the season history. Scroll all the way down.
What the? Why is this saying only 2020? This is not accurate at all.
No.
He did not come off the books for the Niners 3 years ago, and we know that. We were paying him not last year, but maybe the year before, 2023. We were still paying him, weren't we?
No, 2022 was. Are you there? I'm right here. You don't see me?
Why can't I hear Tony?
I'm right here.
Uh-oh. Something's wrong on my end. Hold on, guys. Let me change my settings because I can't hear Tony anymore. It seems like I lost him on my let's put it to the TV. Tony, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll leave it on my TV. Let me turn my volume down because I don't want it to be too loud. For whatever reason, it just cut out of my headphones. I don't know why I did that, so I apologize. Say something else.
Died.
Huh?
Your headphones died?
No, because it tells me like, oh, 50%, 25%, 10%. I didn't get any of those warnings, but let me take these out. So it's weird. We were still.
Now I can't hear you because you put your headphones away. I swear to God, I can't hear you. I can read your mouth. I can read your lip. Did you mute? Oh, God. Shit, Mike's gone. Could you guys hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear me. I know the stream is still going, so that's good.
All right. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah, there you are.
There we go. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was very strange. Sharp. He said, finally, a Tony show. Look at y'all trying to get rid of me. Fuck y'all. All right. I'm putting my headphones back in, but I can hear you right now through the TV. I'm going to change it back to my headphones. It says battery 90%. All right. Let me go back to my headphones, which I don't see as an option right now. All right. But I got you, though. Yeah. Oh, shit. I lost my screen share as well. Where'd my screen share go?
Don't worry about
something right about these D Ford contract details because they, Tony, they were, I don't know. This doesn't look right to me. I'm saying look right, but I thought the Niners were paying him beyond 2021. Can you see that?
Yeah, because that's what they did. They restructured it. That you see where it says cash paid and then cap charge? They took all that money from when did he officially leave the Niners? 2022, right? Go the other way.
That's 21.
21 he left the Niners. So they lowered his cap to $4 million. They made, what's that second column? Right there. You see the second column with the numbers?
Prorated signing bonus?
Scroll up. I can't see you all the way up top.
Can you see it?
No, you got to scroll. It's the.
It's not. Oh shit! I was on the wrong one. My bad.
All right, so the prorated bonus is all the money that they moved. All that because it's 15.548. Now go down, all the way down.
Hold on. All right, there we go. I got you back in my headphones now. All right. Life is good now. Okay, here we go. So go back down.
And there you go. You see the difference? There's the dead cap.
There's 2023. Here we go.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I know it was 2023. I said that like 3 times. I don't know if you could hear me saying. I was like, yo, like I know we were paying up until 2023.
Yeah. So.
But he last played for the Niners in 2020.
Yes.
He did get on the field in 2020.
Yes.
But when did they redo a structure or deal with him is what I want to know, because these extra years are weird.
They did it in 2020, and then they did it in 2021 when he was done.
And he didn't have to sign it. They could just do that.
No, he agreed to it.
So what I'm saying is, why would Debo agree to it if it's only helping? Like, fuck the Niners. If I'm him, I'm not doing that shit. If you look at this contract, look at this here.
All you're doing is paying the money up front. That's all they're doing.
So you're saying he would take the restructure to get basically this $20 million over here dead cap up front.
I mean, wouldn't you?
I hear you.
Wouldn't you?
I hear you.
That should reopen up the negotiations because I'm paying the most of your responsibility. So then the compensation should change for me.
Well, it will be a very interesting trade. And I'm going back to the comments. Let's see if they will let me see them. I want to see how many people were in the yes. You killed us, Mike. You got to make it right. I don't know. Dang, even with Debo, we need a wide receiver. Yeah, see, I agree. Even with Debo, I think you got to look at wide receivers again. Where do we start making the trade? I just wanted to see if the people like the trade or not. So I can't find it. Here we go. So this is where we put the trade in here. I see yes. Need a wide receiver though. Yay, easy. Yes. Pocket says the Browns got finessed. Higgins though, Tony. Higgins is gonna want top dollar. I'd give them a 5th rounder instead of Floyd. Slayton in free agency would be better and cheaper than Debo. Oh, y'all got some hot takes here. Chris Godwin. Y'all know how old Chris Godwin is? Russell Gage. T.O.'s son. Ugh. Does Garrett play center or right tackle also? Y'all are funny. Sounds like we don't have anyone. LOL. River Craycraft is a free agent. Look at who y'all are saying instead of Debo. Y'all are wild. There's no generational player at 11. Yeah, you're saying that, Joe Boyd, but there's also no generational player at 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, or 32. So it's still the best offer that they're going to get. And I think that's what we were trying to drive home here. Tony, you killed us. Got it. Make it right. All right. I think we had enough fun for the night, Tony.
I'm tired. I gotta go to work.
Yeah. You and me both. Well, I don't have to go to work. I got physical therapy in the morning. Listen, man. I hope you guys enjoy this. They said make the trade. So I think more people liked it than people that hate it. So that's always a good thing, Tony. I got nothing else. Here's my last thing. We do this show, and we have formed like a bond within our community here, Tony. We have been doing this for a very, very long time, since 2017. Nothing But Niners has been rocking Tony, I thank you for your time, your service, your commitment to the team. Since day one, we've been here. We've been working hard. I saw a comment in the chat that I want to highlight by my guy, JP Hellahard. JP is a really, really good dude. He said that his daughter's in the hospital and the weight of it all is heavy. Listen, JP, you already know that you've been in my prayers. I'm now adding your daughter to my prayer list, man. And shoot me some text messages with these updates, bro. I want to know what's going on with you, with your family. And that goes for everybody else out there in the chat. You guys are family to us. We love and appreciate every single one of you guys. This is not something that I'm just saying. I don't catch all of the comments, so you guys please have to forgive me if I don't see them. But thank you all for rocking with us. JP, man, we talked earlier about some other things that are going on in your life. So, we got to be careful what we say. I don't put anyone's business out there, but again, willing to add another name to the list if necessary. I'm all about positive energy, good vibes, prayers, and all those things going on out there. All right, so we're sending them up for you. Thank you, Gilliam. These are the things that we like to see. Groovy says, Mike, thoughts on Luka trade? I don't care about the Lakers. I don't care about the Mavs. I don't care about any of them. Cool. Or boo, whatever. I got Luka in my fantasy basketball team, and he hasn't played a game in what feels like 2 months. So fuck him. Sorry for the language, but I don't care. If the Lakers are going to get him back out there on the field, then cool, or on the court, cool. But I don't know if this guy's even motivated to make a return. So we'll see what happens. Tony, man, you know what part of the show we're at, man. It's time for final thoughts. Let us know how you're feeling, and let's wrap this thing up, man. This has been a very, very good and fun show. The Niners, man, they have an opportunity to do something special. So give me your final thoughts, and let's go home.
Yeah, it's very interesting. There's a lot of rumors going around now. There's a lot of different angles you can look at this, and if you're into doing like mock off seasons to try to project or predict what they want to do or what you think they should do or possibly could do. There's a lot of scenarios. Like to take it for tonight, we moved on from Debo to bring in Myles Garrett, right? So that's one of them. You brought in, we gave up a first rounder this year, didn't forfeit a first rounder next year. They didn't forfeit a second rounder next year either. So there's different ways to look at it. We moved on from Debo. Now the question is, who can we bring in for a wide receiver? There's a couple guys out there. There's a couple possible scenarios on the trade market, depending on how some of these teams view their rosters. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very interesting. And the combine is almost here, then free agency, and then we're going right back up to the NFL draft. So there's going to be a lot to be talking about for a while.
Yeah. Listen, man, guys, I am trying to convince Wayne, Tony, NY to commit to us getting together. I want to do a content house for the draft all 3 days. If I get commitment from these three guys, I will rent out a house for us to be in and just bring you guys non-stop draft coverage. But I need commitment from you guys, the faithful out there. All right. He says, what about Nick? You know what, Groovy? I'll even call Nick. And see if I can get Nick back out there also. But I need commitment from you guys. I need to know that you guys are going to watch every show that we do. I need to know that you guys are going to be active participants in every show that we do. I'm not asking for super chats or anything like that, but all of that will help. I will reach out to all of them and find a central location. We got NY way up by Buffalo. We got Wayne up in Connecticut. We got Tony in North Jersey. We got me and Nick way down here in Pennsylvania and Jersey, Central Jersey. I mean, look, what's up, man? I will make it happen if you guys commit to us that you're going to be there, man. I'm all about the content. I'm all about making this draft the best one we've ever done. I'm talking big boards, a lot of buffalo wings, some Jersey Mike subs, whatever it is it's going to take, man, to get it done. Yeah, baby. Come on. Let's go. Peachy, Mose, come on. Let's clash the crews, baby. Let's do it. Come on. I'm all with it. But y'all got to make it known that you want to see it happen.
Oh, God,
right?
They're asking for a 24-hour stream.
Listen, I lost my show for 6 months last time I did a 24-hour stream. I don't know if it's worth doing, but we will bring you guys way over 24 hours of content in those 3 days. In 3 days, that's 72 hours. I can guarantee you get over 48 hours of content if you guys are committed to the cause. All right. I just need to know that you guys got our backs. All right. My final thoughts are this, man. While football is a great detractor from what's going on in real life, the truth of the matter is the real world still exists. And the economy is something that we're all keeping a very, very close eye on. We are all being affected by it. I don't care where you fall in social status. I don't care where you fall in financial status. I don't care where you fall in political status. All of us, every single one of us, are feeling the repercussions of the real world right now. So the thing that I want to tell you guys the most is to just keep your heads up, keep grinding, keep finding a way. All right? Just make it to tomorrow. That is my goal and my message to everybody out there. Prayers up to any and everybody going through things. There's a lot of turmoil. We're watching what's happening in the world, in the U.S., Philly, Alaska, D.C., with planes and all that stuff falling out of the skies. We're watching all of it. We're keeping a close eye on it. Because we don't discuss it here on these shows doesn't mean that we're oblivious to it. We just want the best for everybody out there at all times. We will continue to try to keep the content coming to you guys, and we want this to be your escape from the real world, because sometimes the real world just sucks. It's tough. It's hard. But hopefully we can bring you guys a couple of minutes, a couple of hours of peace, relaxation, and maybe even some laughter. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you didn't enjoy the show, leave it in the comments. If you did enjoy the show, leave it in the comments. That's going to do it for myself and Tony. We're going to get up out of here. Tony, you ready to go home, man?
Yes, sir.
Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always
remain faithful.
We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing